Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Secret Rare a Pokemon podcast. This week we're reacting to the final Indigo Disc trailer. We're going to rank every single starter Pokemon and we're buying more and more packs. But first I'm joined, as always, by Tom Ryan-Smith and Nathan Ellingsworth. How are you doing, lads? Nathan, how are you on this fine Monday evening? It's Monday.
I'm good. I've had a busy weekend. I went to see a gig on Friday. I did a DJ set on Saturday. I'm back to work. But I'm good. I'm tired. I've been playing a load of Scarlet and Violet to get ready for the DLC. I'm trying to get my shiny charm, and that's been pretty fun.
Me too, brother. I've been trying to put together a team because, as we know, it is a brutal ass DLC. But we'll get into that. Tom, what DJing have you been doing recently?
You know me. I'm always DJing. I mean, to be honest, I spent the majority of my time building the Lego Millennium Falcon and trying to catch mice.
Nice.
So it's been just an average weekend, just like the usual Tom stuff.
We had the final trailer for the Indigo Disc, which I thought was pretty exciting. It showed off the returning legendaries, which they kind of got pipped to the post by a bit of a leak beforehand, but it was still cool to see them. Synchro mode and BBQ, which is Blueberry Quests and not actual barbecues, as I thought it was going to be, because we make sandwiches in that game, so why not have shiny barbecues? Nathan, we've poured over this. What did you think of the final Indigo Disc trailer?
I really liked it. I think it gave the hype that we kind of needed. I like the fact that it's teasing towards Kieran's storyline, and the legendaries looked really cool. I don't know. I think and it still feels like they're holding the loads back. Like, we still haven't seen much about. We know Archaludon and we know Iron Crown or whatever it is, but it still feels like we're missing some Pokemon, like the fourth of the Poison collection from the Teal Mask. Like there's that tease towards like a sort of Peach Pokemon. That's the reason they all got ruined or whatever. But I'm also all for them just holding back some secrets. I want to play that game and then maybe stumble across a Pokemon and be like, whoa, I didn't know this guy was in here. That is so rare in a Pokemon game, and I really like it when I can actually go in and just discover something and be like, who is this guy?
I completely agree, and I also hope that we just have to get to like Wednesday night to make that happen. The last time when all of the Pokedex images leaked for the Indigo, the Teal Mask, the way that happened won't happen this time because it was discovered. So let's hope that we get there without the leaks. It's weird because I think we've spoke about this before, we're occasionally in a situation where we see Pokemon before they're officially announced. If you're reviewing the games, for example, I reviewed Legends Arceus, so I saw all the weird forms of Dialga and Palkia before they were announced. But then just as that was happening, a picture was taken in a French factory when they were printing Astral Radiance of all the cover art for that set. So people were like, what are these things? Yeah, I imagine there will still be a few secrets, but with the new trailer, a bunch of Japanese previews dropped, and they seem to see a bit more of it than we did. Like they got to they got told that like the legendary encounters are dropping at level 70, things like that. Which level 70, I was kind of expecting them to be level 100, to be honest, because in level 70 in the Indigo Disc is nothing, because it's really hard ass DLC. Tom, you've watched the trailer. What do you think of the returning suite of legendaries? Are you surprised it's not all of them?
I don't really care that it's not all of them. I'm actually kind of glad because I'm still really confused canonically why all those legendaries are in the Pokemon version of Biosin's habitat from Jurassic World Dominion.
Reasons.
And also
reasons, don't worry about it. It's just reasons, don't worry.
But like Red Coat, the birds, Gold Coat, the other birds, why are they there? Like, I don't mind. I realize there's reasons for competitive play, but canonically, I'm like, just let it not be all of them. I like it. I'm intrigued. I'm excited to go in there and it's like go to every corner of the plane. I imagine that's how it works and catch. I've not played it like you guys, and experience all the legendaries again. I'm really excited for that. But yeah, I'm glad it's not all of them. I hope Mew just doesn't rock up and they've just somehow got him in there. Like, all right, pal. Something.
Yeah, there became an issue with legendary Pokemon. Like, you think about how in Generation 3 and Emerald, for example, when they wanted to backfill the legendary Pokemon that you were missing, they did specific events for that. So Mew had like Faroe Island and stuff like that, where it made sense that Mew could exist here. But because there's like 50 legendaries now, They just have to be like, oh, here's a cave that if you get to the end of it, we'll just spit out a random legendary regardless of the canon. Like, here's 50 Belesophon in a row while you're trying to shiny hunt literally anything else. Yeah, I do think it cheapens them somewhat because you can see from the trailer they've just had to find biomes that sort of suit them. So like Suicune's just like on the side of a river, like hello, and Rayquaza's up a hill. Like it's not quite as epic. I mean, legendary battles haven't really been all that epic in recent. But yeah, I think it's weird how. I mean, it's not that weird because we kind of know where we're going, but they showed all the legendary Pokemon, and the three that got huge prominence were Zekrom, Reshiram, and Kyurem, and they were like, I wonder if those will have actual story kind of quests tied to them rather than just the churn. What was your read on it, Nathan?
Yeah, because I mean, it's already been revealed that Blueberry Academy is in Unova.
Yeah,
that is mentioned at the start of the Teal Mask DLC. The lady with the hexagonal earrings is like, "Oh, it's over in Unova. We'll do that another day." So we know that that's a part of the Blueberry Academy. It's not even like Pokemon Company being like, "Wink." It's like, get ready. So I hope so. I think you're right. I'd also like to see maybe if we're doing that, something like Victini, who hasn't been seen in years and years. Like I don't mind Reshiram and Zekrom kind of just coming over because they're already in Go. You know, if you really need them, you can go and get them and send them over. But Victini is one of the mythicals that hasn't been seen in a long time, and also one of the best movies in my opinion. I really like that one. I really like that mythical. All right, don't give me that face. It's a good one.
You know my opinions on this.
It's a good one. So that's one to me that I think would actually be a really good fit for this. But who knows? I think they've got their hands full with Kieran and the terrarium and whatever else they want to pay off with Jacques or other characters. I don't know. I think I'd rather save some of that stuff for a Legends Victini or whatever we end up doing.
Kieran or Kyurem? Maybe. He turns into Kyurem.
I love Kyurem and I really love the fusion mechanic. Maybe do something else with that. Maybe have it fused with other dragon type legendaries. Maybe have it fused with Dialga Palkia in some sort of like origin form nonsense. Like, at this point, just do it. Who cares? Well, look where we are.
Yeah, very much at that point. I think it's funny how shafted like Xerneas and Eviltal got, and like there's no mention of Zygarde. It's like, okay,
it's because they're shit.
You guys are in the bad place at the minute. We'll get to use eventually. We'll eventually make a Kalos remake on Switch too. But
Xerneas was in New Pokemon Snap, and that was kind of a big deal. They got the moment there, which was nice.
It's the better of the two.
Yeah, it's the
Eviltal EX was a brilliant deck back in the black and white era, though. I'll never forget that. The same era as that Mewtwo EX card that completely broke the game. I think the attack was X-Ball, and it did 20 damage for every psychic energy you had on both Pokemon, or maybe just every energy on both Pokemon. So you would stack up these basic Mewtwo's over and over again, and then whatever you went in against, it did like 1 trillion damage, and it completely broke the metagame. So that was the...
Is that the one that was in Celebrations?
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah.
It's funny how they were like, let's celebrate one of the worst things we ever inflicted on the competitive game. But yeah, that was was there not an Eviltal in Celebrations as well? Or
there was in the base set, I think. Yeah, I can't remember if there was in the actual... I forgot what they were called, the Celebration side, where it actually was the reprints. I don't know.
The set that people care about. There's also so they showed in the trailer Synchro mode, which will let you play as the Pokemon. According to these Japanese previews, it's every Pokemon is eligible for it.
That's cool. That's really cool.
And if you're like walking about as a flying type Pokemon and you jump off a ledge, you'll start flying. So it's got like it seems like a lot of work.
That sounds sick.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's a lot of work. What for? What are we doing?
Yeah.
that's one of them features like in a Sword and Shield where they showed off the wild areas in the DLC where it's like we're working on this for next generation. So maybe that's sort of their thing where Fly will not just be down to one mount. maybe that's kind of what they're kind of leading into.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool. Use the models, and then instead of just Hisui and Braviary, you're like, cool, whatever flying type you've got in your party, use your Pidgeot, use whatever. Do you know what?
As long as it's not a Pidgey or a Taylor.
Do you know what?
Just hanging from its feet.
Yeah. Just doing a little Spearow, just like throwing it around. Yeah, that. I think you might be onto something there. Actually, maybe they are testing just Pokemon 4-wide, like HME use of all the flying types through this, or the fighting types break a rock or whatever. Yeah,
it's.
I mean, that's the dream.
So they'll introduce in this DLC free flight for Miraidon and Caridon, and once you've completed it, which also applies to the main map apparently, not just Blueberry Academy. So if you thought the pop in was good and on the base game, just wait until you can like fly about and see entire bits of the world like fall away to dust.
Oh my god!
It's it's weird, kind of big mechanics to throw in the last DLC, but I suppose the
100%. I do think it's a next gen sort of tester bed. Like the old DLC was 100%.
But then they do some weird stuff like this as well that we never see again. Like they put some stuff into Sun and Moon, like the photography stuff that was like, okay, well maybe we're going to get that at some point, and that never went anywhere. Like sometimes I do think they just throw stuff out to see what happens, and I also think this is maybe a throwback to Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon's Latios and Latios sort of like flying around thing.
Yeah.
But I think that kind of worked there because you had the wormholes in the sky. So you were actually meant to be flying around and you had the legendary encounters. Whereas here, Jordan, you're absolutely right. What are we going to be looking at? Just like look at the map from further away. It's not going to look any better.
I bet in Blueberry Academy there is some either PvP or shiny hunting related reason to do it. Like that's how they get the hardcores to do it. See if they just float Herba Mystica in the sky and it's like you have a chance of collecting them by floating about. Like that's really all they need to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be cool if the legendary encounters were kind of like the Ultra Wormholes from Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon as well, and maybe that was like you flying around. But I mean, I think it doesn't look like it from the trailer. It looks like Rayquaza's just on a cliff, and you're like,
apparently they are to do it with the BBQs, the legendaries. So these quests are like, I think these quests are great. Like they look very they give you a reason to just be cutting about and do. So you I showed it in the trailer. It's like it'll give you a quest. It'll be like 10 can't catch 5 normal types, and that'll give you points that you can spend at a shop within the school.
Yep.
The shop has like.
Well, that feels a bit Legends Arceus.
Yeah,
it does a bit.
Combine that into into it.
There's a character in Blueberry Academy called Snacksworth. He's a bloke in a suit, and he's the one that you go and take. Like I can't remember if they're called. I think it's snacks, which you earn through the BBQs. Or it's snacks and BBQ points. But Snacksworth is the bloke who's going to give you what you need to get the legendaries on the map. And he's in Blueberry
Is Gen
Academy.
X in Australia?
Hmm?
I said, is Gen X in Australia? Teasing it at barbecues.
Oh, mate, that'd be lovely. That'd be
great way
get
to
a
do it.
prawn Pokemon and...
I'd love Gen X to be in Australia, but it'd be like real Australia where the big cities are separated by like continent-sized areas of absolutely nothing. So
that works for Pokemon.
Just takes you,
that's ideal.
Just takes you days to get across the map.
Yeah. I think the BBQs will be cool. Apparently, once you finish the game, you'll get BBQs that the reward of which is the encounter, is like the trigger of the encounter with whoever. It is kind of monster closet in the sense that there's so many of them to get that it's like, okay, do the Raikou one, the Entei one, this weekend one. You presume that the paradox forms of those Pokemon will have actual potential story implications rather than just maybe a quest like the Blood Moon Ursaluna, which was cool. That was a nice way to encounter that. That was another weird mechanic they just did once, and they're like, oh, who cares? I really
liked that hunt as well. That was really fun. The little photo mechanics and trying to find the different Pokemon around. But you're right, like Walking Wake and Iron Leaves, we just got on a raid, and that was a bit naff.
Yeah. I think they were seeming. I don't know why they didn't save them for Katakami, because they just kind of like threw them out there for nothing. Maybe Katakami was meant to come a bit earlier, but there was no great call out for like, oh, we need 2 random extra Pokemon, because it's not as if they were scheduled to be in any merchandise or stuff like that. Like we've not had cards of them yet. I imagine we'll get the first cards of those in the March set. The like
Temporal Forces.
Yeah, Temporal Forces. Cyber Judge is so much better.
Was if it was meant to be in Kitakami, that would have made it so much better, though, because that DLC, the narrative and what was actually given in that story was just so weak in comparison to what I kind of hoped it would be. So I can kind of see that would have helped a lot.
Nathan loves Kitakami. Nathan stays in Kitakami Avenue.
Hang on. Love it. I like it. I definitely like it. I like the fact it's got a more vertical layout. It's got cave systems, which you can actually sort of get lost in. It feels like they took a bit of the feedback from the base game and did something with it. So I'm hoping that gets addressed. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's taken on some feedback. But I also don't know where Walking Wake and Iron Leaves would have fit in, because that story is all about what are they called? The Cursed Trio? Whatever, the Okidogi, Mokidori.
The Loyal Trio, is that not them?
Yeah, the Loyal Trio. It's all about them, and that's got nothing to do with Area Zero. So, like, I get it. Maybe they were thinking about it, and then they were like, do you know what? This doesn't fit. Can boot them out.
Yeah. The Nathan's actually the only person in the world that bought that Okidogi plush. But God bless him.
I would. I haven't seen one.
It's out now. If you listen to last week's podcast, I know you were busy being on it, but we actually did announce officially that the Okidoki plush is available now, alongside whatever his face is, Monkey Dory and How You Doing, whatever they're called.
Serendipity.
See, that if that was in the UK version, that would be so much funnier.
How's it going? I saw.
All right, mate.
I saw someone suggest that the Peach Pokemon be called Peachy Keen, because that would fit the kind of terrible naming scheme that they've come up with for that. But we'll see soon. By the time the next episode comes out, we will have well, me and Nathan will have absolutely ruined our lives, like playing it till all hours of the day, fighting each other for those sweet SEO dollars. But we're going to work together to defeat the real enemy that we won't name here, but they know.
I'm going to play at a normal pace and love
it. Okay, let's go to the real meat of this episode. As we know, the Indigo Disc will bring back all of the starter Pokemon. Sorry, the first partner Pokemon, as they're now commercially known. So I thought, let's do a tier list that we rank. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to go in reversalogical order, as they call it, and put them in a tier from E tier up to S tier. We're
going to start with an argument right away. Oh my god! Quaxley.
Our decisions can be changed when we get to the end, but let's start with my boy Quaxley. I'll be honest. I think he's probably like a D tier starter.
I would
agree.
Yeah, I would say D, because E is reserved for certain ones. Yeah, I'm happy with the D.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Phrasing.
Little Quaxley. Let's go Sprigatito. I think that's a B tier. I like Sprigatito.
B boy. Yeah.
I like Sprigatito too. Do you know what? After the anime, I've gone up my estimations. I'm happy with B there.
Mm-hmm.
Sprigatito.
This is far too cordial so far. See, when we get into Pokemon starters that really matter to us when we were kids, it's game over. Mm-hmm. It's going to be an absolute screaming match.
Yeah.
And the singing boy himself, Fuecoco. Tom, what do you think? A? Nathan?
He's not an S. He's an A.
Yeah, 100%. He's A. He's the best of the three. It's not quite an S, but he is the best of Scarlet and Violet.
I think. Is he an S for singing boy?
I think S is. I think personally, I think A is heavy, but I'll let A go because I don't have a strong feeling either way about him.
I mean, what do we? If there's a full argument, can we not do if 2 out of 3 of us say that?
This is why democracy doesn't work.
That's fair.
This is why democracy has failed in every country it's been tried in. Let's go back again. Scorbunny. E. Scorbunny's terrible.
It's a B, C for me. I'd lean more towards C.
I'd lean to C as well. Like, I quite like Scorbunny. He's the better of that.
I'm
three.
sorry.
He's the best of the bunch. Yeah.
I'm sorry. If Quaxley's a D, then Scorbunny's a D every day of this goddamn week.
Nah, Scorbunny, when he kicks a little rock in the air, it's really cute.
Okay, actually,
when he kicks it sets on fire.
Do you know what? I might agree with you there, actually, because I do think Quaxley's as good as Scorbunny. I think I'm just giving it more points because it's the best of a bad gen.
Would you go for it? Would you go for Scorbunny top of the D? because we will be get Scorbunny right on top of that D, because we will be ordering these. So
see now, I definitely would put Scorbunny
It's
below.
higher.
I'd put it below Quaxley. So yeah,
No,
do you
it's
know
higher
what?
than
I've had
Quaxley.
to come down to a D.
yes,
Yeah.
now we're talking. It's below. Get that right down there. Grookey.
Oh, we've missed Sobble.
We'll get
Oh,
there.
so we have. Well,
yeah,
we could have done either of them, but let's do
Yeah.
Grookey first.
E.
Oh,
Bottom
Grook's an
of
E.
the barrel. I would kick that monkey.
Oh,
with
poor wee
fiery
guy.
boots.
Poor wee guy.
You're like that little kid and like, there's a monkey on the car.
I won't argue with that, but he's just a wee guy.
It's not his fault.
I'm a member of the Sobble squad.
Yep, I'm a big Sobble fan. I would say C or B.
I was thinking
if
C.
it's just the starter. Whereas when it comes to evolution line,
Yeah,
the drop off.
Intellion's
Oh
a
my
pedo.
god.
Intellion's an absolute pedo. But I think Sobble's a strong C. I would say personally. Tom,
Yeah,
you disagree?
I'm happy with C.
I disagree, but I'm not going to argue. I feel like I've
Got to
Oh,
say-
no, come
had
on.
my way a
Got
lot
to
of
save
times.
your arguments for when it gets really spicy.
I think it's a bit naff. Just little sad wet boy.
Let's go back another gen. I will say that Rowlet's a strong A for me.
Ooh.
I like Rowlet. Little circular guy. Funny looking. It's everything you need in a starter. He's got a wee bow tie.
He's my favourite of those three, both in the starter and the evolutions, and I do think it's one of the best grass ones. Yeah, I think I'd be happy with an A there. I might lean more towards a B, but actually, it's a good gen. It's a strong gen.
I would also lean. I'd lean towards B as well because I think Litten is better.
Okay,
No.
I mean that's nonsense, but we'll stick a B there. Okay, Tom, where do you think Litten is sitting here?
Litten's an A. You know what? I think I like cat Pokemon. I like cats.
What?
He's a fiery cat, and I'm on board.
Is that all it needs? Just to be a cat?
I like cat Pokemon too. Fire is my favorite
Yeah.
type, but
Yeah,
Litten
exactly.
just doesn't do it.
There
for
you
me.
go,
It just
Jordan.
does- It just doesn't do it for me. It doesn't. There are maybe 5 fire type starters that are better than Litten in my opinion.
Mhm. It's like a Litten to me is like a C, middle of the road. Not
I
bad,
also
not
think,
great.
I also think Litten's a C. Maybe
Fine,
I'll
see
go
it.
top of the C's for Litten. Remember, we can
He's better than Sobble. He's
Yeah.
better than Sobble.
we can bargain over these when we get further into it. Poplio,
D, I think.
yeah,
It's just a bit something and nothing.
yeah, he's inoffensive as Poplio.
Yeah, he's
The
not like
wa-
an E. He
I'll
doesn't,
be intrigued.
doesn't hurt my eyes like
Yeah.
some of the E ones that we're
No.
going to get to.
I'm intrigued to see what the ratio is going to be, like type wise, by the end of
Yeah,
this.
the water starters are really getting it.
They get a lot better towards the beginning, though.
They
big
do
time.
considerably.
Oh,
Big
back again. Let's go for Fennekin.
This is so difficult doing it this way.
I think that's maybe D. I just not interested.
See, I
to
was
me.
thinking C. If Tom, have you got any Fennekin support here? Can we get it into C, or are you not bothered?
Look, if I was doing that gen, I'd always choose Fennekin. So I reckon it's at least I'd say C for Fennekin.
Mhm.
Middle of the road, just sort of a cool fox, fiery fox. He's the best of a pretty poor bunch, to be honest, that gen.
My boy Froakie is like an A.
Froakies next up.
Best.
I love Froakie.
So wait, are we putting it? Wait,
So Fennekin's a
I'll
C.
on that.
And Froakie, Frokie's lower tier for me. Frokie's like a D in my opinion. I've got
Really?
no time for Froakie.
Oh.
His evolutions, he gets better. He's a rare get better.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I'm not going to throw my toys out of the pram about Froakie. I would put him in A, but if you want to put him like B or C, if everyone thinks he's a D, I'm happy to sit with him at C.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we'll get him in C.
Yeah.
See how that feels. Now we're getting into when starter Pokemon were starter Pokemon, man. Proper Pokemon such as
Back when we were a
back when
country.
we were a country, back when we made Steel. The first candidate for the S tier, in my opinion, Osha Watt. Top
Hang on.
tier starter
Have we
Pokemon.
missed Chespin?
We missed
Oh
Chespin.
fuck, Chespin. Who cares about Chespin?
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
Straight in the
obviously,
E. Right in the E.
like straight down to the bottom of the barrel. Absolutely.
Daft wee bastard with a hat on.
Oh, that's even worse that we just forgot him.
I've got no time for Chespin. Do you know I've got a lot of time for? Oh, sure what?
Chespin fans in tatters right now.
Well, all three of them can find somewhere else.
Someone talk me out of putting Oshawott in this S tier right here. Is there any argument against
No,
it?
it's S tier.
What?
S tier.
Are
S tier.
you mad?
S tier.
S tier. Top tier.
His evolutions are a bit tat, but
tier.
Oshawott,
Oh no, I'm a big
fan.
Samurott fan, but Oshawott is like BA to me.
Mate,
Look at his hand. Look what is in
he's
his hand.
so cute.
He's
in the
very
anime,
cute.
when he would run about and just say his name, that's peak comedy in my opinion. There's nothing funnier than that.
Look, I would happily put him in A tier if it needed to be. That's where I'm at. But he's high up.
Really? Yeah, I'm happy with A. I like Oshawott a lot.
Okay, we'll put him in A for now. But don't worry, mate. I'm coming back for you. I'll get you up that queue. Okay, Tepig. Any Tepig fans in the building?
B or C for
tepid.
me. B or C for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, a tepid
Yeah,
Tepig.
Tepig. I think C's okay for wee Tepig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just
All right. I feel like this is where we're going to fall out. Snivy is top tier, like S or A. My boy Snivy is so good.
I'm pretty sure
Like-
Snivy would fit right alongside Chespin and Grookey right down there in the grass
No
exclusion
way.
zone.
No way. Snivy is like elite grass up there with Rowlet.
Snivy just reminds me of the leak times. I think we spoke about it last week when
Yeah.
we saw the silhouettes and people drew them in.
I also remember before we got his English name and we only had the Japanese one, everyone in the West started calling him Smugleaf from the pictures. And so
That's a better name.
when I got black and white, I nicknamed mine Smugleaf.
Nice. What a nerd. I like that a lot. Snivy. I could not live with that being an S tier. I could maybe. It's B or A. Tom, influence this.
I'll fight for an A.
Well, I will. Go on, let my
Fine.
Slivy's amazing. Well, it's one of the few starter Pokemon that's something different. They actually had the balls to be like, right, let's do a snake. Like they got such like typical designs.
I didn't realize it was a snake.
Well, you know what Serperior is, don't you? It evolves into Serperior.
How do you not know he's a snake? His name's Snivy. He looks like a snake.
He has
as well.
legs.
Oh.
Yeah. He has legs and
Not
arms.
for long.
Superior has arms as well, but it's still a snake. Oh.
Snakes don't have arms.
Yeah, well,
All right, fine.
snakes don't say their own names.
I think it's
either.
like meant to be like a little prototype lizard, and then evolution takes his little arms off.
Let's go
Stop, that feels
into the most overrated Gen 4. Just wait till we do ranking of gens. That'll be fun. Piplup. I like
S.
Piplup.
S.
Yeah.
Hip love.
S.
S.
Yeah, right in there.
Is that our first
Yeah,
S?
it is. Oh well,
Yeah.
technically it's Oshawott's S in waiting. He's gonna get up there eventually.
Yeah.
Chimchar.
C.
I was also thinking C.
Yeah,
It's fine.
Yeah, I'd go lower, but C's
I
fine.
like Infernape, but it's not that interesting or anything different.
Yes. Yeah, I'd probably say that I don't know, grass the C tier is getting very busy, but
I think that's fair. A lot of Pokemon
Yeah.
are middling.
yeah.
Or, I mean, I'd give my boy Turtwig a B.
Really?
Yeah, big fan of Turtwig.
Is this like Bulbasaur but dead behind the eyes?
No, I like the fact he really looks like a turtle. Like Bulbasaur's meant to be this weird sort of dinosaur-y hybrid. Like
I do like Turtwig's wee jaw. It's quite funny. He's got a cute wee
I think
face
he's
because
got-
of the jaw.
I think Turtwig's got a really good design as a starter Pokemon.
Maybe get him in there. Maybe get him in B just for the now. We'll shift it around.
Alright.
Yeah, all right, B.
Now let's get into a proper generation. Generation 3.
Are we doing Mudkip now?
I mean, Royal Ascent, surely.
Straight to the top.
Straight to the top.
Straight to the top.
Really? Okay. I was going to say A or S, but straight to the top is interesting.
Straight to the top.
He's the best of that gen, and it's a good gen.
Yeah, as a very strong gen. I would say Torchic, even though that was my Ruby starter, I mainly picked it because I thought Blaziken was cool and looked like Blaziken looked like a Digimon or something like that. It was such a weird looking Pokemon. I'd say Torchic's like a B.
I agree. I mean, he was designed to look naff. That was his entire thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. To me, Torchic's the A and Trico's the B. But that is really strong for one whole gen.
Yeah, I would probably put Trico A, and this is influenced by I think Trico's quite cool, and that's that season of the anime. Like I like his attitude. So that's always the thing. Like influences how you think of these Pokemon because their attitudes and stuff like that is never conveyed in the games. It's always just like you put that upon them from the anime. Tom, what do you think about Trico?
Honestly, I've never had much time with him. Like me and him never spent much time together. He was never anything I would consider picking. So. I have no strong feelings one way or the other.
I'll stick him B alongside Torchic then.
Yeah,
okay, that feels Torchic.
But, yeah, I picked either Torchic or Mudkip out of the two.
We're getting to the end of the wedge now.
Yes, this is where we're going to start arguing.
Getting into serious
I
territory.
think we're going to agree though, right? Like we can't have harsh opinions on these next ones because they're all bangers.
Yeah. But also, I think we need to. We kind of just have a full. If we have a full, everyone's an S tier. S tier means nothing. You know, it has to be. It's currently like it's currently like a perfect pyramid almost of like the bang average, and then the other two, the other tiers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totodile.
S.
Straight up.
S. One of the best designs in Pokemon, let alone starters.
Yes.
And also all the way through.
Like, yeah. Like, banger.
Yeah, Croconaw for Alligator, bangers.
Cyndaquil.
A.
Easy.
Chikorita.
C or D?
C, I would say.
I'd go C.
It's just so featureless.
Yeah.
It's just like a leaf.
Meganium's one thing, but Chikorita's nothing. What is it?
That may be subject to relitigation.
I think it's a D. If not an argument for further down.
As things currently stand, before we get into the big three, let's run it down. In the E tier, we have Chespin and Grookey. In the D tier, we have shockingly Quaxley, Scorbunny, and Poplio. The C tier,
Poplio deserves
the
to be
busiest, the busiest place on the list. C tier, we have Litten, Sobble, Fennekin, Froakie, Tepig, Chimchar, and the recently added Chikorita. B tier, we have Sprigatite, we have Rowlet, we have Turtwig, we have Torchic, and we have Trico. In the A tier, we have Oshawott, who's just waiting to get into that S tier, baby. He's just waiting. We have Fuecoco, we have Snivy, who Tom didn't know was a snake. We have Cyndaquil. And in the S tier, it's an all-water party. We have Piplup, we have Mudkip, and we have Totodile. Right. Let's get into it.
Yeah. All right.
Squirtle, otherwise known as Shiggy. I think he's
S. Straight up S.
B.
I think he's the best of this gen, and Charmander's only liked because of Charizard. If we're judging the first one, I think Charmander is a B.
I disagree because of the anime. His character in the anime brings him a lot higher than just
Charizard,
the games and everything like
not Charmander.
No, Charmander, yeah, because
it was nice. It was alright. It was Charmander for 2 episodes.
And that was an epic 2 episodes.
Look, don't get me wrong. I love that episode. I was recently talking to voice of Ash Ketchum, Veronica Taylor, about that very.
We've all done that. We've all done that.
About that very first the episode with Charmander. She said it's one of her very favourites. I love the episode.
She says that differently. She can't remember one single episode. She's like, "Oh, that was a great one. That was a great one, mate. It paid for my house. I don't remember what happened in it, but it was great."
I agree. That episode's amazing. I don't think it makes Charmander as a starter any better. Squirtle's my boy. Squirtle S, Bulbasaur A, Charmander B.
Charmander, triple S tier.
Charmander is S tier.
Off the top of the list. He's a mile away.
But this is only because of Charizard.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. Disagree. Taking out anything to do with that, completely disagree.
Can we agree? Is Bulbasaur A? Can we make Bulbasaur A? Is there any real arguments there? These Pokemon can
I'm
be
happy with that.
No, like the trio can be in like.
Detective Pikachu Bulbasaur is the cutest thing in the world.
I'm fine with Charmander being an S as long as Squirtle is as well.
Yeah, I can get on board with that.
It is top loaded now as we go through, but
that's a ringing endorsement of Pokemon's design strategy. They've done a very good job.
Okay, for the final part of this tier list, let's. Is there any glaring changes you would make here that you can make a good argument for? My only one, I would maybe say I'm Oshawott can stay A. That's fine. I don't really mind that. Also, where did we fall down on including Pikachu and Eevee?
I think we said we should. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Pikachu's S tier, I'm afraid. He's Pikachu.
Yeah, really, obviously.
As a starter, no.
He is the starter that is the best starter because he doesn't change. Like the problem with starter Pokemon is they're absolutely like people love them. They get so attached to them. You're with them for like an hour of gameplay, and then there are these other ugly things. Like they just Pikachu's is different because he was always just Pikachu.
But like at the start of Yellow, especially, I know I'm the one who argued to get Pikachu into this. he's dire. Like you spend so much time in Viridian Forest getting grass types and stuff together so you can beat Brock. Pikachu is useless for a while.
That was done by design because people had already played Red and Blue or Green, and they wanted to make the final one harder. That's what they did, and then you get the other ones like straight away. That's good. He's there to be a challenge. Like. Also, you could talk to him, and he made this horrible like machine gurgle, and it came out in your Game Boy.
Nightmare fuel.
Yeah,
nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
Nah, put him in S.
He's S. Exactly. But annoyingly, I think I'd also say Eevee's S.
I think as a starter Pokemon, I think Eevee is mid tier purely because it's not special. You can get it whenever. You can get an infinite amount of them. Like,
yeah, do you know what? As a starter, you're right. That's different. As a Pokemon, I think it's elite.
Yeah,
but...
we'll do a ranking of evolutions one week. That'll be a short conversation that ends with Umbreon at the top. Let's run down where I think this is okay. I think this list is solid. I think it's it is quite top heavy. We have. Most of them are either an S tier or C tier. There's just a couple that are in this.
Do you think we started playing Pokemon in like the 90s, 2000s?
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet you could guess our like median age just by looking at this.
Here, you've got to respect Fuecoco getting that high up. Same with Sprigatito. They've really
Fuecoco is an honest argument.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's indicative of them bringing it back, getting them up there.
Can I have one change? Poplio E.
Poplio to E.
I don't know why. It just feels
I'll give you Poplio to E if I can get Quaxley up to C.
I don't care that strongly.
No, he doesn't deserve it.
Oh, poor Quaxley.
The problem with Quaxley is there's another water duck Pokemon.
It exists.
That is one of the best Pokemon there is.
Ducklet.
Like he wishes he was Psyduck.
Oh well, there's two water duck Pokemon.
Oh yeah. Is Psyduck water or is he psychic?
I think he's water. Yeah, I think his cards are water, so I think that's what.
Yeah, I think in the games it gains psychic when it evolves. Maybe. Don't want to say that to click. We'll have bloody Cerebi in the comments again.
Oh God, I know. I'll need to read out a prepared statement. Apologies to Joe on behalf of the Secret Lair team. One of those things that as soon as I said that I knew it was wrong.
Well.
God love Joe.
Joe knows this is being recorded right now. He's like, he just sat up in the Cerebi mansion and he's like, well, there's going to have to be some fact checking done.
Yeah. So someone got Pokemon wrong.
Yeah.
He just sensed it. He just knows.
So to conclude this tier list, S tier, we have Piplup, Mudkip, Totodile, Charmander, Squirtle, and Pikachu. A tier, Oshawott, Fuecoco, Snivy, who Tom didn't know was a snake, Cyndaquil, Bulbasaur.
He has legs.
B tier, we have Sprigatito, Rowlet, Turtwig, Torchic, and Treecko. There's a nice bit of alliteration there. Speaking of alliteration, in tier C we have Litten, Sobble, Fennekin, Froakie, Tepig, Chimchar, Chikorita, and Eevee. D tier, we have Quaxley. Quaxley was robbed. Score Bunny and Poplio. And E tier, we have Chespin and Garuki. I think that's all right, to be fair.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
that's
happy with that.
decent. Yeah.
I would love to see this list if we ranked it with order of what they evolve into.
A ranking of final evolutions. I think we.
No.
like,
A
evolution
ranking of
line.
starter Pokemon. Yeah, so like factoring. So like we did this entire argument off just that Pokemon, but if we factored in that Charmander did go to Charizard, it wouldn't change where it is. But like, you know what I'm
I'll tell
saying.
you what, Grookey and Chespin wouldn't move an inch, if anything lower.
It would look something.
I think
like
a lot
this,
of them
where
would go lower.
Everyone would go down. Everyone would be. Don't care where they all are. They can all be in E tier, but Charizard stands alone. Greatest Pokemon ever designed.
I mean, yeah, Inteleon would be moved down quite a few tiers for poor Sobble.
Inteleon would be jailed.
Pikachu would tank.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Raichu. A big fan of Raichu. Maybe not S tier, and Alolan Raichu as well, but tank is strong.
Yeah.
Eevee would go right to the top.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's cheating. Eevee can evolve into 200 different things. But that was our ranking of starters. Before we go, we've got a couple of product news stories and some Pokemon Go. We're getting a Mabostiff EX promo box, which comes with 4 booster packs, a jumbo card, and a Mabostiff EX that was a promo in Japan. How do you feel about these? We get one of these like every couple of months and stuff like that. It's like the jumbo card, the 4 packs. Like, do they feel like kind of shelf warmers to you, Tom, or do you ever go after the promos?
They're for kids.
Yeah.
They're for kids. That's all they're for. They just there to sell some Pokemon cards for a mid-range price that parents can afford. That's all they're there for, and it's good. I'm glad they exist.
They're there to line the shelves of like Asda and stuff for little Timmy to point and be like, if we're not going to be in B&M, Mum, then if we're in Asda, at least buy me this. You know, if there's anything left on the shelves.
There isn't, because I've been in there and cleared them. The Asda Linwood doesn't know what's happening.
It's the Jordan.
Yeah.
I see you creeping around.
No, I don't mind some of them. I also quite like a lot of the big cards. But these are never the cards. These are never like the V deck or the battle deck cards that we actually really need. It's like Hisuian Electrode or something, and you're like, do I need a A5 Hisuian Electrode?
Yeah. It's an okay box.
I'm glad they've standardized the size. I'm glad they've standardized the size of them though, because obviously they've made the binder specifically for jumbo cards, and now you can like keep them safe rather than back in the day where they were just like, this one's this big.
And also they would in the
box
box they would already be warped. Like the amount of from Generations, the amount of warped like jumbo cards I would have, because you would like slide them out that box. Do you remember how horrible the plastic that used to hold in the promo cards and stuff were back in that day, when they would pinch the corners of like every single one of those promos? Like,
oh my god,
it's like impossible. I mean, I'm not really into grading cards generally, but it's like very difficult to get them in good nick because of that. A much more interesting box though, which is now available to pre-order on the Pokemon Center. The Pokemon TCG Combined Powers Premium Collection includes 3 foil cards: Lugia EX, Ho EX, and Suicune EX. A foil.
Hey, I have those.
You do. You know why? A foil card featuring Mr. Mime, 3 foil tool cards, an oversized Lugia card, and 11 booster packs for £60. First off, I think that price is great. Second off, sorry Tom, these are reprints from the TCG Classic Collection. How do you feel?
Perfectly fine, because these are the cards we knew were getting reprinted anyway. Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, they are EX cards. They are meant to be in circulation. They are meant to be.
They're not
used,
tournament legal though.
I'm
They're pointless. You might as well.
Sorry, I don't know why I was like, yeah, just put some tournament legal cards in a premium box like that. That's wild. That's so. Wait, has it still got the stamp on it from the?
Yeah, it still has the classic collection.
Great.
That's so dumb.
They've literally just ripped them off the production line and like, we could probably get these out here, so people can't accuse us of only selling this never before released Mr. Mime. The Mr. Mime's the only card in the set that I'm like, might buy that as a single. But
that's such a shame, because like the Lugia, Ho-Oh, and Suicune are actual. I don't play the meta enough to know how playable those cards are, but they're actual EX modern cards. They should be tournament legal if you don't put them in this box. Yeah. It should be a different version.
Weird. Although,
so yeah,
I said it before. 11 TCG packs. I presume it'll just be Scarlet and Violet era stuff. Like, it'll just be Your
It looks like
your
it,
Paldea
yeah.
Evolved, your Paradox Rift, or stuff like that. Probably not Tempura Forces or whatever. I think 60 quid's all right for that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Are you saying Tempura?
Yeah, Tempura Prawn Forces. That's the next set. It's purely Tatsunigiri. Have you seen? There's I think it's called Combined Powers. There's a box that they're selling at US retail at the minute, and it comes with Magnazone EX.
Is that the one that
I think I've seen this? Yeah,
and Gardevoir EX, right? And it comes with like 10 packs or something like that. And or maybe less than that, maybe like 6 packs, but it's like $80 or something like that. It's ridiculously expensive for no reason, which is quite. I feel like Pokemon actually price their TCG products decently outside of the what we're about to talk about with your ridiculous purchase. But yeah, that was a weird one. I'm going to the States in the middle of January for one weekend for a work event, so I'll have to see what I can bring back for the squad. Tom, while we're talking about this, we'll skip to pickups and come back to Pokemon Go. You bought the TCG Classic Collection.
There we go.
I did.
Ring
the
bell. Set off the alarm. It happened.
Garlic bread.
Wait.
He caved.
Oh, is it got? There we go. There we go. The Tom has wasted his money. Alarm is going.
You know what? I'm happy I did it because I got a good price on it. And right, for clarification, Pokérand, we're selling it for £230, which is like £170.
Why
off.
were they selling it for that little?
Because they couldn't get rid of them.
But that's cheaper than you buy them as a stockist though. Like that's wild.
I think that the way he described it, Randolph said it in the video, is that's pretty much how much they bought them for wholesale. They're just trying to get rid of them, and that's the lowest they can probably go. So that's probably the minimum they'll sell for a long time, unless they start doing creeping up. So I thought, you know what, I'll take my chance rather than waiting a year or so, and I'll get it now for that price. Why not? And honestly, it's a lovely product. And a lot of people complain about why it costs so much, and yeah, it costs 400 quid is far too much. 230, barely justifiable. It feels bloody nice.
Yeah.
Like the actual box itself, and like the actual inside and the what's it called? The actual surface. It's like a felt. It's really, really, really feels really good. And inside feels lovely. And the actual condition markers and the damage counters, they're like, I don't know if they're ceramic, but they're not plastic. They feel really good. They got some weight to them. They clack together. Like it feels. They're not just crappy plastic tokens. It feels really good. Yeah. I mean, the bit where you drop the ball in and it spins around to get heads or tails, that is plastic and a bit naff. The ball's
I mean, to be fair though, like obviously for the price of a used car, you'd hope it felt premium. Like this, I don't think this is enough to sell it for even 200 odd quid still. Like, and we have to remember retail is 400. Like,
that is wild. Yeah. So wild. I'm happy I got it for the price I got it.
I'm also
like I wouldn't have bought it.
We're collectors. We're enthusiasts. We're the sort of people who would want to buy it. And if even we are like too rich for my blood, maybe if it's nearly half price, you're right. Where is that going? They're just going to be on shelves and they're not small. But I'm glad it does feel premium. But 400 quid premium to me is an iPad. You know, like it's it's ridiculous.
I still think it falls into my conspiracy theory, the fact that because they're not selling, Pokemon won't make more, which means that this run will be the this is my theory. This will be the only run of this product, which means once this print run has been sold and gone, you won't be able to get it, and you won't be able to get these reprints
now you're
of the base set cards again.
Invest. See after
that's
you
my,
put
that's my mentality.
when you put your order in the group chat, I went to look to try and get one. They'd sold out them, so I was like, because at that price, I would have bought one and just shoved it in the cupboard and not thought about it for the next 10 years.
And the thing is, the reason it was that because it was that price, I did open it because I wanted to make a little video on it for socials and stuff. So I decided to do it. And you know what? It's lovely, and I'm glad I did open it, and I've got it now. And it's a nice thing I have in my house. I can just crack it open and go, look at my swanky Pokemon, and people will go, we don't give a fuck, we're here for pints. But still, it's cool.
I'm again, the actual package looks good. I'm really glad it is like a premium thing. I do think 220 for me would have been a price where I genuinely thought, yeah, maybe I will pick this up. So I don't know. Hopefully you're right. It does come down to like retail price, and I mean, the thing now is like, who's next to crack before we all have it?
Mm.
I will say the card print quality left stuff to be desired.
Ah,
The top bottom printing on some of the cards, like the yellow borders, were top heavy on a lot of the cards. Like, thankfully, the Blastoise, the Charizard, and the Venusaur, and those cards seem to be on a different sheet that was cut well.
oh,
But
okay.
like a lot of the other cards in there, which like if they were cut from a specific sheet, which are just the normal, I think these are all hollows. It shouldn't really matter. But yeah, you can tell which cards are cut on a certain sheet, and they're really off center, but not good enough to be off center. Be like, oh, I got an off center. It's just like annoying.
Send it back.
Just
Put it in the bin. Just get rid of it. Grow up. Oh.
But no, it's like the cards are lovely. Like getting the Charizard out and kind of feeling the hollow and going. It's cool. It's nice.
I do feel like as well, it'd be nice to like build some classic decks and have a couple of games with those. Like, I think that'd be fun if you had some mates around.
Yeah. Although they don't give you, did they give you Scyther, Hitmonchan, and Magmar? Because if not, then do they? Do you get the what are they called again? The Haymaker trio. That
you don't get Hitmonchan, you get Scyther and you get Magmar. Instead of Hitmonchan, you get the Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee from a very recent set where they're the one where they're kind of drawn together back and back on the top of the mountains, and you can see each other in the background of the other card.
Yeah.
Okay,
You have those.
That's from like Sun and Moon, isn't it? I think.
I thought it was.
Maybe
it was last
it
season.
might be more recent than that, to be honest. But it's like, that
Still
is a nice.
fun.
I think it was Sword and Shield. They are really nice. Like, they're really nice cards. But yeah, like there's a lot of. It's a very eclectic mix of generations, and it's really cool to see. Like going through it, it feels like you're kind of doing. It feels like this should have come out in the 25th year because of how much of a celebration it is of all the eras.
Yeah.
I like the product. I'm sorry.
How dare you? I haven't bought lots this week. I bought a couple of packs that you can see on the Secret Rare Twitter. Highlight of the bunch for me was this art rare Apom, which was the art was done by your mate Tom. You
can buy it.
Indeed, it's a lovely little card. Honestly, my opinion, this is the best era for Pokemon card art there has ever been.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so high quality, and there's so much of it.
Would you know we were talking about potentially doing our own ranking of the best cards of the year? I was going through them, and I actually was like, "Oh, I've got more than 5 here." So I had to like put some shout outs. Like I made the list together already because I was thinking about it, and I was like, "This has been a stunning year for cards."
Yeah. This is what happens when they make the sets 300 cards a piece. There's going to be good ones. Like, they make it impossible to collect, but there's going to be good ones. Nathan, you pick anything this week?
I haven't bought anything. I can't remember if we talked about it last week, but the Pokemon Company # gifted me a really nice little box with a booster box, some blister packs, and a lovely jumper, and that was really nice. Did we mention that last week?
I was wearing the jumper from it last week.
Yeah, I think maybe I got mine a little bit later. I'm poor in saving for stuff at the moment, so that was really appreciated. And I did get a couple of good pulls. I got a full art. Is it Rika or Rena or Renu? The one with the long green hair.
Yes.
I got that. And what else did I get? I got Dragonite EX, Gyarados
I'm
EX.
scrolling up our group chat to look at the picture right this minute. Did you get booster pack or did you get a booster box?
No. Oh god, I keep kicking my desk. I'm so sorry. I got a booster bundle and a load of booster packs as well.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, you got a bloody straight up booster box. Who are you, Joe Merrick?
Not quite, no. And
I've got your pulls here. You got Rika, the full art, which is a nice card. You pack of the bunch. You get the Fuecoco art rare from Paldea Evolved, which is a wonderful
amazing
card. It's still really expensive, that card.
Oh yeah, Roaring Moon, Lycanroc EX, and that Masquerada EX, the one with the pink background. I quite like that one as well. But that the full art Fuecoco is one of my favorite cards I've pulled in ages. I love
that Fuecoco is beautiful.
I love that one. I want that as like a poster. Like I love him so much.
Nice.
I'm just gonna put my pulls in there as well. I just realised I've never spoke about them either.
Yeah, I should have got the cards out. I'm not gonna hold up my phone screen.
We'll put them on the Twitter. Before we go, Nathan, give us a very quick Pogo update. What's happening in the week of this week in everyone's favourite crap mobile game that they've ruined?
Oh, there's actually quite a lot to do. So if you are a Pokemon Go fan, then be sure to log in because we've just launched. So we've just launched. I'm not in charge of it.
Wait.
Ooh, congrats.
Pokemon Go has just launched the Timeless Travels special research. There is also the Adamant Time research tasks, which involve adding some friends. So get on those. There are some cool bonuses. We just had the Catch Mastery Ice event on the weekend. So I got myself some shiny Snorunt and Cryogonal. The little ice. Yeah, that's the one. And this weekend, upcoming, so the weekend of the 16th and 17th, is that the 2 days? Saturday and Sunday?
Yes, for the community day remix kind of thing.
Exactly, yeah. It's community day catch up. It's over 2 different days, and there are different Pokemon on the different days. So do not just think that all of the Pokemon are on both days. Like one day is like Paldean Wooper, regular Wooper, and other bits and bobs, and then the next day is other ones. So, but also be sure to have a look at the website. And lots of Pokemon from different previous community days, not just the ones included in this. If you evolve them during the event, or you can get some of the old event moves. So really good for PvP. Have a look. If there's any Pokemon you've got knocking around like 4 stars or whatever, and you want the event move, go on the website, check and see which ones you can actually evolve during the event. And then also loads are involved in the community today that you can get some shiny babies. That's kind of it for now, I think. We're kind of waiting for, what else? Zekrom's in raids. No, that's about it. But more will happen over Christmas.
That was the Pokemon Go update. We're about finished for this week. Next week we'll be heavy on the Indigo disc. But until then, new releases this week or pre-orders on the Pokemon Center. As I said, you can get the Combined Powers box, which for £60 I don't think is bad at all. It's 11 booster packs. It's roughly ETB price, depending on where you look. Although these days, if you wait a month, an ETB is like £35 on TikTok Shop, so maybe not the best comparison. They've also restocked a load of the Sitting Cuties plushes, which are
hang on, where's
these tiny guys.
Where's my one? There he is. You can see my little Totodile on camera.
Little boy.
Why does my Squirtle have such a squint smile?
Oh my god, he looks like he's been chopped in half, like Freezer in that frame. Like when he started to slide apart.
But
oh my god,
he's a good boy. He's a good wee lad. The Sitting Cuties for Larvitar, Eevee, Pikachu, Jigglypuff, Snorlax, Gengar, Dragonite, Suicune. This says Offish, but I believe that's Oddish. Rapidash, Caterpie, Arcanine, Ninjask, Gyarados, Kirlia, Combusken, and Lombre. I don't know if this is still the case, but for a while there, if you spent like £30 on the Pokemon Center, you got a random Sitting Cutie for free out of like Pikachu, Snorlax, Eevee, and Arceus. I don't know if that's still an offer.
I think recently as well, I don't know if it's still going, but they were doing like a Mime Junior Christmas tree ornament with certain orders. I can't remember if that was US or UK, so maybe if you go to order from the Pokemon Center, have a look and see if that's still going.
Yes, and if you want the Pokemon TCG Classic from the Pokemon Center, that'll be £400, please.
Don't do it. If you're going to do anything, buy some binders, but don't put them against a mouldy wall.
Don't put them against a mouldy wall. Oh, very quickly, Tom, tell us that horrific story, because that genuinely made me go and check my binders and make sure they were in a nice
really
area.
Sad.
No, it's just Twitter user Mert, who is a Pokemon Twitter user, and I've been following him for a long time. I think we even may have done a trade once, just through Twitter. He was storing his Pokemon binders against the wall on the floor, and mold spread from the wall onto the floor and onto his binders. Like, apparently his binders ruined, his floor's ruined. From what
Who
he was
cares
saying.
about the floor? How's the kills?
What are the cards like? I'm guessing they were in plastic wallets, obviously.
So apparently they were in Voltex binders with a zip, so the cards inside were fine.
Oh, use code Secret Rare at Voltex for not yet, but eventually use code Secret Rare at Voltex.
Imagine that'd be great. But yeah, like it seems like he was very lucky, but he may need to get a new carpet.
That's
so
fine.
you might be selling those cards.
I'll deal with that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
But don't put your cards high up. Don't put them on the floor against the wall.
I'll tell you what. Also, that reminds me of I watched a film this week called The Family Switch on Netflix, which has got Ed Helms and someone, and it's about like Freaky Friday. It's like that, but the whole family.
Yeah,
it's rubbish, but it's got a weird focus on a PSA graded 10 Charizard.
Oh, I've heard about this.
It's brought up in the film quite a lot. It's actually a plot point, and it really made me laugh, and it didn't make the film any better. So,
is it also incredibly fake looking as well?
Yeah,
like they didn't get a real one. It looks awful.
It looks terrible. They clearly did not buy a real one. They clearly just printed one off and put it in the grading thing. So if you're tempted to watch that film because it's got a Charizard in it, don't look at a Charizard on Google.
Well, that's my night ruined. Anyway, until next week, thank you for joining us. You can leave comments on the YouTube channel. Be sure to check us out. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Lads, it's an absolute nightmare to deal with Apple Podcasts. The amount of times I've logged in to Apple Podcasts and be like, okay, submit the show. And they're like, log in. Okay, I've logged in. Submit the show. Log in. To the point where my entire fist was nearly through my computer. But we will persevere. You can get us on Spotify. You can get us on YouTube. You can get us on Twitter at Secret Rare Pod. We're posting a lot of good hashtag content over there. Secret Rare Pod on TikTok too. Until next week, say goodbye, Tom.
Bye.
Say goodbye, Nathan.
Goodbye. I need to go and get my shiny charm.
Go and get that shiny charm. It's honestly a joke. You don't have a complete Pokédex yet, mate.
Oh,
I've had mine since day dot. I was born with a shiny charm. But also, if you need any trade, let me know. And until then, see you later.